Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another installment of United Worldwide Facebook Live here on the campus of the University of Northern Iowa. We are talking all things housing and dining today. Housing and dining. We are number one in campus dining in the state of Iowa 5 out of the last 6 years, and I will have a couple students join me and tell you more about why that is possible here on the campus of the University of Northern Iowa. But until then, of course, before we welcome in our students, like every United Worldwide Facebook Live, we will welcome in the infamous Molly Astorita. Molly Astorita owning the international admissions area like she does, as an admissions counselor, doing her great job of letting us know what to expect in the application process. Molly, go ahead.
That's right. All right. Thank you, John. And I always feel like we're on like a news station, and and so maybe soon we'll go to weather or something like that. But it's okay. For today, I'll do admissions updates. So
one step at a time, Molly.
That's right. That's right. So, all righty. Well, as usual, if you have not received an I-20, it means that you have not sent us financial documentation. So make sure that you look for emails from us saying what to submit for financial documentation. So it's essential that you do have your I-20 so you can schedule your visa appointment. So just make sure that you're following through with that. That way you can attend the appointment and come to campus. And just know that it's never too late to apply for the International Excel Award if you have not done so already. So that one has always been consistent here in my messages. And then make sure that you accept before May 1st. We really would like you to try to accept before May 1st because it will help give you better options with like housing, which will be discussed, here in just a little bit, as well as, you'll get better communication about the next steps for orientation and everything. And just know if your visa appointment is canceled or your visa is denied, that we will help you with getting that refund of the acceptance fee. But just know that acceptance fee, it's going towards your tuition. So that's why we really want you to get it in. That way we know you're coming and kind of keep moving with you. And just know that we are going to have an admitted student celebration. So get out your calendar and your pens or your phones, whatever you mark calendars with. And just know that on Tuesday, April 26th, I think it's around 8 a.m. Central Time, but we will be sending out more communication in these next few weeks. We just would love to have you join us and just kind of get some more insight about you and I, and just getting you pumped up and making sure that you've accepted before that May 1st time. So, and let me see, I think I just had one more update. I'm double checking myself here, but yes, okay. And as usual, if you have a lot of questions still about you and I, or like what to do about your next steps with your, how to, get that visa appointment and everything, just know that you can email me. You can contact me on Unibuddy. You can set up an appointment on Zoom. Just know there's lots of ways. So for those of you in our United Worldwide page, I will be putting in the comment section my ways to contact me as well. So I think that is all for now. So John, back to you for sports. No.
No, back to me for housing and dining. But Molly, okay, maybe we should take this on the road.
That's right. I think so.
Yes. I do like talking sports, but maybe another day. I appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, Molly Astorita. I appreciate it. Thanks, Molly.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. We will welcome in our students for today's United Worldwide Facebook Live panel, talking all things housing and dining. And we have our resident international student promoters, experts in housing and dining, and they will introduce themselves one by one. We will start with Megan, and then Para will introduce himself. So Megan, let us know who are you?
My name is Megan Carlson, and I am a second-year student here at UNI. I'm majoring in math teaching and getting my endorsement in computer science.
Awesome. Para?
Hello, everyone. My name is Parmeshwaran, and I am an international student from Malaysia who is currently having a BA in history.
Awesome. All right. So we will talk all things housing and dining today. And as what Molly just got done talking about with her updates, is a huge proponent to accepting your offer, is once you accept your offer, you will open up your housing application. And once your housing application opens up to you, then you can pick your room, your floor, and your res hall between April 4th and April 7th. That's coming up here pretty quick. So for those of you that are watching that are admitted, congratulations. The tough part is out of the way, but now an offer is on the table. So once you accept your offer and then pay the acceptance fee, then you would be able to finish your housing app. Once you finish your housing app, that time stamps your housing application and lets you know when you can pick your room, your floor, and your res hall. You should be getting that information via email this week. If you've already got your housing app done, you should be getting that date and time when you pick your room, your floor, and your res hall. It's first come, first serve. One of our most popular residence halls on campus is Norrin Hall, and we just so happen to have both of our United Worldwide Facebook panelists that live in Norrin. So they'd be able to tell you more about the experience of living in Norrin. Norrin is a very popular place, not the only place for students to live on campus, but a very popular place. And it booked up last year on the first day when students pick their rooms. So it gives you an incentive to accept your offer now and get yourself in line between April 4th to April 7th to pick that room and that floor and that residence hall of your choice. So before we talk to Para about dining, Megan and Para will go ahead and talk about their experience living on campus. So Megan, a residence assistant here in Norrin Hall, go ahead and tell us everything that we need to know about living on campus.
Yeah, so your first year on campus, if you are a freshman, you would want to you'd live in a traditional dorm. So that means you normally have one roommate and you're just in a normal dorm, kind of like the one behind me, Norrin Hall. But it's just a really great experience. I've lived on campus for 2 years now. I started in Campbell Hall, which is no longer open, but it was a really great experience. I got to meet a ton of amazing friends. At least 3 people on my floor last year I'm still really close friends with this year. And then now I'm a resident assistant in Norrin Hall, and a resident assistant is a person who lives on every floor, and they're there as a resource for students. So we plan fun events for students to come to just to get to know each other on the floor. If you ever have any questions, you come talk to the resident assistant. If you ever have like any problems with your roommate, we're really just here as a resource for students. And so that's been a really great opportunity for me to work for UNI Housing and Dining because it has opened up so many opportunities for me. I've really grown as a leader in this job. I've made so many friends, and it's just been a really great opportunity. And I've absolutely loved Norrin because it is one of the first renovated traditional dorms. So it's actually still in renovation now, but it will be fully operational by next year. And so it's a really great place to live. It's very modern, and everyone I've talked to has loved living here because it's just a really great community. Para, do you have anything more to say about Norrin?
Also, actually, I don't really.
What is like living on campus, Para? Is that Megan said a lot of great things about Norrin, but when you're talking about the proximity, when you're talking about where you live on campus, Para, in Norrin Hall, how easy is it for you to get to your classes?
Okay, so the thing about living on campus is that in most cases, no matter which campus hall you are in, you should be able to go to anywhere on campus within 10 minutes. And also sometimes, yes, I understand that going from your campus hall to this certain classroom and then over to some other place on campus may require you to take hundreds or even 1,000 steps per day. But then when you're thinking about all those steps, rather than living off campus and driving to anywhere you need to go, it will be healthier for you to walk over there, because we all know what the health benefits of walking are. And furthermore, by living on campus, what you are doing is that you are essentially living with your friends, regardless if those friends belong to the same room, same floor, or same campus hall as you are. So by living on campus, it actually provides you an opportunity to be much more closer with your friends compared to how it would have been if you were to live off campus instead.
Awesome. Perfect, Para. Yeah, no, you make a very good point. Para made a very good point. We're only around the 10 to 12-minute campus. We're not a very big campus. And what Para was talking about, there are a lot of colleges and universities where it's a pretty big campus, where there are a lot of places where you got to walk all the way across campus to your next class, and it may even be a 15 to 20-minute walk. But here, we're a very mid-sized campus. We're not the smallest campus, and we're not the biggest campus. So we've got the best of both worlds. You get that kind of feel of a big city campus, but you also get the feel of that small private college area too. So that's why we call ourselves a mid-major institution. We're around 9,500 students. So right in the middle where we're able to provide the same experiences as a big city campus as far as a small private college campus as well. So yeah, Para did a great job of explaining, knowing that it's not going to take long for you to get to your classes from where you're living on campus versus living off campus, where there are off-campus housing, which is not far to your classes, but most importantly, the residence halls on campus are definitely in close proximity of your classes. Megan, there are other places, of course, to live on campus other than Norton Hall. As you talked about, you lived in Campbell over by the towers. If you lived over in the towers, is it a very long walk to get to the library, or is it a very long walk to get over to the farthest academic building?
Absolutely not. Both. So for you and I, we have two main areas that our traditional dorms are in. So we have on the south side of campus, we have what is known as the quads, which is like Norrin and Hageman, Scholl, Ryder. And then on the other side, we have the towers, which is Bender and Dancer. And both sections are about the same from any building. And so it's a 5-10 minute walk from anywhere. And so wherever you are, it's a great experience. And no matter where you are also always super close to the dining center, because the towers are connected to one of our dining centers, which is Rialto. And Norn and the 4 quads are connected to Piazza. So no matter where you are, you will get a great experience at the dining center, and it's super close, which I love. And the big thing to point out about the towers is one of the towers is actually singles. So Dancers is singles. So if you prefer not to have a roommate, Dancer is a great place to live. It's also been recently renovated, so it's a great place to live. And another option is also Scholl Hall if you prefer to not have a roommate. But from personal experience and from my friends, I've known having a roommate your first year is a really great experience, because you get to build that bond with another person, and it's just a really great experience to learn how to live with another and just build those connections that you won't necessarily have if you live in a single.
Are you required to live on campus as a freshman? No, you are not required to live on campus. 92% of freshmen do. It is not a requirement, but by any means, it is a great asset, as Para and Megan were talking about, being close to campus, being able to get those steps in. As Para saying, it's very healthy to get your walking in. You'll definitely get your steps in going from class to class, but at the same time, it's definitely not going to be a strenuous walk where you're walking countlessly through the whole day. No, it's a good distance to get you out, get that blood pumping, and be able to get that needed exercise as the University of Northern Iowa Panther. So we'll touch a little bit more about the campus living experience as it comes suitable here later on in United Worldwide Facebook Live, all things housing and dining. We'll switch over to dining now and have our dining expert, Para, go ahead and explain a little bit about the dining experience. So Para, as what I know that you are an employee, you work at one of our dining centers in Piazza. Before you talk about your experience working in Piazza, go ahead and explain your experience as far as just dining.
Okay, so now when it comes to dining, in UNI, there are 2 main dining centers, which are Rialto and Piazza. And now, even though I do not know what are the meal plans are at the top of my head, regardless, if you are a student and if you have some sort of meal plan, then you should be able to go into the dining centers just by scanning your student card. And once you are in, now here's my favorite thing about being in a dining center. Once you are in, you are able to eat as much food as you like without any limitations whatsoever. So, in other words, you pay the meal plan and basically it's like a buffet. And not only that, in both of the dining centers, there are multiple venues where they specialize in different sorts of cuisine. And in the case of Piazza, there are venues such as the Walk, where it's all about Asian cuisine. There's Serrano's, which is the pizza place. There are Sizzles, which is like the fast food portion of the cafeteria. And there are also Savories, where the theme of the food is like food that you would imagine your grandma would cook for you.
Very good. Para, if you want to pull the mic down just a little bit from you, you're breaking up a little bit, but all good info. Yeah, as Para was talking about, there's not just one area to eat in the dining centers. The dining centers, both Rialto and Piazza, you definitely have the best of both worlds, but you have a lot of different places too. So if something's not looking right today, as far as saying like, well, I just don't think I'm in the mood of what is being cooked and on entree and stuff. Para, are there things at the dining centers that are cooked there daily? Are there things that are always going to be there?
Yes, so from what I have experienced in Piazza, some things I see every day is that in the pizza section, there is always going to be cheese pizza. And also at the dessert set, no, not the dessert, at the taco bar, there will always be these such and such ingredients of the taco, such as lettuce and tomato and peppers as well. But when it comes to the other sections, it will be variable, because like in the case of Sizzles, one day you'll be seeing regular French fries. The next day you'll be seeing potato wedges. The next day you'll be seeing hash browns, and so on. And just like that, in the case of Savories, one day you'll be seeing mashed potatoes. The next day you'll be seeing green beans. Then following day you'll be seeing asparagus, and so on.
Awesome. Yeah, there's quite of a variety. That's what I was saying, that we are not number one in campus dining in the state of Iowa for nothing. You definitely get your wide range of options to eat. And if any of the things that you're seeing in the dining centers, if it's thinking like, you know what, I don't know if I'm able to eat a lot of this stuff, I may have dietary limitations, which is totally fine. We do have a registered dietitian on campus. So if there's anything that you need as far as allergies that you want to avoid, or as far as gluten-free, I know that Para was telling us there is gluten-free options on campus. We do have vegan options as well, halal options for those that want to engage in different types of cuisines around campus. Definitely reach out to your registered dietitian on campus. So one of the cool things about the dining centers on campus as well is, as Para was talking about, there may be things that remind you of what your grandmother made, or maybe some things you know what, this isn't quite like what grandma made. That's totally fine. If you have a dish, or if you have a specific food that you want us to try, or a specific dish that you had that you grew up, let us know about it. Let us know what the ingredients are, and we will try our best to go ahead and make that. And we may even name it after you. That's the cool thing about it is they definitely allow for accommodations to make you feel at home. We want living on campus to be a home away from home. So living in the dorms, eating in the dining centers, there's plenty of options for you to feel like, you know what, this reminds me of home, and UNI feels like another home to me. Megan, do you want to go ahead and talk a little bit more about other places to eat on campus? We talked about Rialto and Piazza. And of course, before we go on and talk about the other places, we cannot go on without talking about the 33 types of ice cream we have on campus, of course, in both Rialto and Piazza. If you take anything from this United Worldwide Facebook Live panel, please take that we have 33 types of ice cream on campus between Rialto and Piazza. But enough about ice cream. We could talk about ice cream for the whole time. But Megan, if you want to go ahead and talk to us about the other places that students are able to eat on campus.
John, you and your ice cream.
It's, I own up to it. I own up to it. I love my ice cream. There's 33 flavors, Megan. There's 33.
Cookie dough, all the way.
There you go. Megan,
So-
what other places to eat on campus?
Yeah, so if you just need like a quick bite in between classes, like something to just grab and go, we have 2 convenience stores on campus. We have Biscotti's in 23rd Market Street, which like I love to grab like a pre-made sandwich. They have sushi there. At 23rd Market Street, they actually have a little pizza joint in there, so you can get pre-made pizzas. I always do that with like, if I have a test coming up and I want to have more time to study, I just grab one of those. If I am in a hurry, and then the main area other to eat is Mocker Union, which Mocker Union actually has our 3rd convenience store, which is called Essentials. They have a coffee shop, which they have absolutely amazing hot chocolate. I'm not a coffee person, but I know everyone loves their coffee. And then they have a food court in there. So they have a sub shop, a pizza shop. They have something like similar to the Walk in Piazza. And then they also have like a place where you can get hamburgers, cheeseburgers, chicken tenders. So if you're, and Mocker is in the central part of campus. So if you're in a hurry, you can always grab like a personal pizza, a sub. I absolutely love the pizzas there. So I usually try to get them like once every other week because they're made to order directly what you want. They're fast. It's just amazing. And so UNI offers so many different places to get food, coffee. There's like 3 coffee shops on campus. So anything you could really want, it's right where you need it because the convenience stores are located spread out through campus. So wherever you are, there's one within 5 minutes. Mocker's in the central part of campus, so right next to any classes. So just a really great location, and it has really great food. And I've loved using it a lot this year, and it's just been a really great place to get food that's similar but different to the dining centers, because no matter how good the food is, sometimes you just want something different. And so Mocker's a great place to grab that.
Yes, that is true. I mean, there's many options around campus. What some of the students have told me is if you're a bagel fan, we have a bakery on campus. We have our own bakery. All of our baked goods are baked fresh daily. And by the end of the day, the bagels are still good, but they're going to replace them with fresh bagels the next morning. So if you are around 9:30 just getting done with a night class and you're stopping by Biscotti's or you're stopping by one of the convenience stores on campus, the bagels are a quarter, 25 cents. You can grab some bagels and have ready for the next day. That's what happens at the end of the day. We don't want to throw them all out. So we want to make sure that students are able to get the bagels that are at the end. And the next thing you know, they're cheap. They're a quarter, but of course, just don't live on bagels for the rest of your time here. But that's just some tricks and trades that students tell you that to try to keep the money to a minimum and being able to use the dining centers and use the convenience stores and the Mocker Union to the best of your abilities. You definitely will get a good source of protein, good source of food on campus from many different places around campus. What Megan was talking about as far as eating outside of the dining centers, that's where your $100 in dining dollars comes into play. You get $100 a semester. Whatever you don't use your fall semester is carried over to the spring semester. and whatever you don't use your spring semester is lost forever. So you want to make sure that you finish up those dining dollars at the end of your spring semester. As Para was talking about with the dining centers is a meal plan. You get an unlimited meal plan when you are a freshman. Automatically given to you by default is an unlimited meal plan. When you get that unlimited meal plan, Para was 100% correct. Scan your ID and it gets you into Rialto and Piazza during breakfast, late breakfast, lunch, late lunch, dinner, and late dinner. There's some places that are open all the time during that late breakfast, late lunch, late dinner area where you may not have hit the prime time when food comes out, but there's always going to be options of getting cereal, always going to be options to get fruit, always going to be options to come in, get something quick, and then go to class. So many, many options here in housing and dining. This gives you an incentive, going back to what we first talked about, to accept your offer and pay that acceptance fee to finish that housing app, get your name set in stone in getting your room, your floor, and your res hall. And then also from that point on, that you'd be able to select that unlimited meal plan and get the $100 in dining dollars for you to able to use the full year. So the last thing that we'll talk about here is one thing that's great about housing and dining is we just so happen to have both of our panelists, Megan and Para. They are employed by housing and dining. So having a campus job on campus is always a great thing to have. And I will go ahead and have Para talk about what his experience is being an employee, being a student worker at Piazza Dining Center. Para?
Okay, so now, as you know, the required hours for an international student is different from the required hours from a local student, because due to the conditions of the I-20 visa, an international student is only allowed to work a maximum of 20 hours per week on campus, whereas a local student, if I am not mistaken, is 40 hours per week on campus. And then now coming back to Piazza, there are actually a variety of skills that one can go for while working Piazza. And what I mean by this is that when you work as Piazza, you are able to work in the dish room, which I had in the previous semester, where your job is to wash the plates, wash the cups, wash the silverware. Besides that, you can also put away all the pots and pans which the which all the cooks used to serve and prepare food on. Sorry. And what I think is the best part of me joining the dish room last semester is that I have seen a dishwasher for the first time in my entire life. And if I had not been to the dish room, I doubt if I would ever see a dishwasher as of yet. Besides this, students can also work in other places such as Sizzles or Serrano's or Savories or any of the food venues, where it is okay to not know how to cook food in the beginning, because if you do need to know how to cook food, such as pizzas in Serrano's, then there will be people who will be able to teach you how to cook the Piazza and how to serve it. But as for other venues, what you need to do in your job is that you just need to serve and prepare food so that students can take it and eat.
Awesome. Para, one thing to talk about, that's all great stuff, knowing that the different type of jobs. So you're just not doing one job at Piazza, but there's many different types of jobs. Another international student promoter, Lam, she does a lot of things too. We have Gavik. He works at Piazza too. They're all three of them all work at Piazza, being able to do many different jobs within the Piazza Dining Center. Para, just shortly explain to us, how does it work to have a job on campus and be a student at the same time, knowing that the main thing you're on campus here is to be a student, but also to have that side job? How does the hours of having a job on campus work well with being a student?
Now, when it comes to the hours, the way we decide what our hours is that we can discuss it with the student manager, as I have for this semester and last semester. And the thing about working on campus is that your hours are not only flexible, but they are made in such a way that they will accumulate not only the hours for your classes, but also they won't be clashing with the times of your student activities or club organizations. So to give an example, by what I mean by this is that if you were to have a classes Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., for example, then that means that you know that your hours on employment won't be anywhere between 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Wednesday, Monday, and Friday. However, if you additionally have a club at, for example, every Thursdays at 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m., then you also will know that whatever hours your employment would be, they will never ever be on 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. on Thursdays.
Awesome. All right, Para, thank you very much for that information. Knowing that everyone's a student, you're student first, but getting involved on campus is also very important too. Getting in those clubs and organizations, and then having a job as well. So as Para was talking about, knowing that having a campus job, that's not going to be anything that is going to get in front of getting involved in a club or an org or getting a class. When you have a class or you want to get involved in a club or an organization on campus, that's priority. And then being able to fill those extra hours in of getting a little bit of cash, being able to get paid for a campus job. So thank you very much, Para. Megan, anything to add? Knowing that an RA, you get to be, once you're a sophomore, you get to be, you'll get to apply to be a resident assistant, but any perks or anything knowing that having that campus job?
Yeah, being a resident assistant is a really great opportunity. Like I said earlier, it's really a great way to build your leadership skills, your communication skills. It's just a really great opportunity to build yourself to be a better person, because you have to be there for your residents. And so it's just a really great opportunity to like learn all those skills that you need for a job, for anything. And it's really just a great opportunity. And like you said, UNI does really care about their students. And as an RA, they always say you're a person first, a student second, and an RA third, because it's important to show that while you are an RA, that is not your only thing. You are a person. And so they really put on like a mental health is more important than the job. And so like just showing that they do care about you, and it's just a really great opportunity. And you get to meet so many great people. I definitely have met, like, I'm really close to all my other staff. And so it's just been a really great place where I can build those friendships that I really see lasting throughout college and afterwards.
Awesome. Well, we will wrap things up here on the United Worldwide Facebook Live, all things housing and dining. The very last thing that I will briefly talk about is picking a roommate. Do you have to have a roommate picked by the time that you come on campus? You do not. You can fill out the Panther profile within your housing application, and that will allow for you to be picked within other people that have the same sort of compatibility compared to how you filled the Panther profile out. So if you do know of someone you want to room with, you can search by their name, or if you're not sure who you want to room with, you can search by suggested roommates, and that's where they match you up with someone who filled their Panther profile up just the same way that you filled yours out. But do not leave that as a do not leave that as something that you have to get done by before coming on campus. You definitely We will match you with a roommate if you did not fill out your Panther profile, if you did not select one yourself. So you'll definitely be able to meet your roommate once you get on campus. If you already know your roommate, reach out to them via Snapchat, anything social media. And if you have any specific questions about how that overall process goes, Molly Astorita would be able to definitely help you. Put some questions in the comments here on United Worldwide Facebook Live, and we would be able to answer those as well. But the roommate process is very easy and definitely something that should not deter you for getting a room on campus. So that will do it for Megan and Para. Great job, you two. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you next time when we will talk more about the many things that students should know about the University of Northern Iowa. My name is John, saying so long, thanks for attending, and have a great rest of your day. Go Panthers.